Bakit ba
Oh,
merong gano'ng hakbang ang korte 'no? What does it mean? Basically kunwari merong isang akusado, ano ba ibig sabihin nun, yung money in his possession? Let's talk in general terms, not specific to this.
okay, oo. Siyempre kahit naman sa courts natin dito ano, kasi ang isang taong under detention, limited naman talaga ang madadala niya inside the detention center. Kaya yun yung ibig sabihin at yung basis po dito ay sa ano no, regulations of the registry. Registry kasi po yung in charge po ng kulungan ano, ang detention facility at yung registry po is a neutral organ of the ICC. So
Mm.
nilista po yan kung ano man pong merong si Mr. Duterte pagdating niya po doon sa detention center ng ICC. So lilistahin po yan at nasa custody yan ng ano no, ng registry ano. I'm talking about non-essentials ano, hindi naman ito yung mga damit o hindi po gano'n no.
Mm.
Non-essentials na mga kagamitan po ng isang detainee. Tapos kung meron pong ang prosecutor na gustong malaman, kailangan po siya mag-apply sa chamber. So kaya nag-apply yung prosecutor ano at yung general na justification po ng prosecutor para po makahingi siya ng kustodiya, ng possession ng mga registered materials na yon ay yung ano no effective investigation no. Article 54 po yan, that's the powers and authority of the prosecutor. So yun I think yung ginamit na rational po ng prosecutor para dun sa mga ano no registered materials na tinatawag na nakaredact po siya. Oo.
Mm. Pero yun nga ba, procedurally, ano ba ibig sabihin 'pag sinabi ng korte, frozen yung whatever asset or money that the
Oo.
accused had in his possession when he
O
was,
ibig
arrested? Ano ibig sabihin nun?
Well, ibig sabihin, yun nga ano, hindi niya magagamit. Oo, hindi niya pwedeng sabihin na, "Uy, gamitin ko muna 'yan, ha. Oo, parang gusto kong bumili ano ng kagamitan dito." Oo, hindi. Oo.
Mm.
So, ibig sabihin nasa custody po 'yan ng ICC through the registry at hindi niya magagalaw ng registry kasi nga sabi ng chamber, based na rin sa filing ng defense, frozen nga siya.
Mm. Pero nga, kailangan pa po bang gawin talaga 'yan? Hindi ba it goes without saying na ano na 'yun, na frozen 'yun? Or technically 'pag hindi nagkaroon ng gano'ng order, ang isang akusado puwede pa rin niyang gamitin 'yun?
Well, technically ano, kung hindi kasi mag-ano, yung kung hindi kasi ibibigay ng order ng chamber na i-freeze, nasa sa registry po yan. Kung may umang request yung defense. Ano. Pero dahil ang chamber po nagsabi sa registry na inagrihan po, grinant yung prosecution's request ano, to freeze. Oo. Kaya hindi lang po basta-basta magagalaw yan ng registry without the consent and approval of the chamber. So yun po yung ibig sabihin. So hindi po siya magagalaw ng detainee, ng accused, hindi po siya magagalaw ng registry. Tanging by the ano lang po, ano, approval or directive ng chamber po yan.
Okay. Pero nga nabanggit niyo kanina, in the first place, I mean logically, magkano ba yung puwedeng madala ng isang akusado? Parang ang hirap naman yata ma-imagine na meron dalang mga ano yun, gold bars, hindi po ba? Kasi parang gano'n din daw po sa iba, eh, 'no? Assets frozen.
Sige, ganito na lang, Christian. I will not talk about the case. I will not
Yeah, yeah.
speculate kung ano
Opo,
pong
opo.
pera ni Mr. Duterte nung dumating siya sa daig. Pero
Mm.
ganito na lang, any traveler to the Schengen area, to the EU territory, will know na, if I'm not mistaken, 10,000 euros po yung ano maximum.
Or
10,000
equivalent.
euros na po ang pwedeng madala ng isang traveler po o kung more than that, kailangan niyo pong i-justify yan, kailangan niya pong i-disclose po yan at i-justify bakit more than 10,000 euros.
Okey. Oh, sige. Pag-usapan naman natin itong paalala ng presiding
Oh,
judge
yes.
dun sa
Yes. Mas
magkabilang
gusto ko yan,
kampo.
Christian. Mas gusto ko
Sige,
yung
pag-usapan natin
paalala
ito.
na yan. Which
Mm.
I 100% agree with. Oh.
Mm. Pero tapatan nga tayo, attorney. Mukha bang ang tinutukoy dito si Nicholas Kaufman?
Well, huwag na tayo paligoy-ligoy. It was referenced by the presiding judge herself.
Mm.
So, we have nothing to equivocate about it. It's a learning lesson kasi sige, siguro yung underlying principles, Christian, ang malagang malaman ng ating mga viewers. Number one, us listed counsels in the ICC, we have a duty of respect towards the court, the chamber, towards our fellow lawyers, towards even the accused, towards the victims, towards the court staff. So dapat we should not say anything that will show ill repute or disrespect to the court. It should always be respectful to the court. Number two is that we should not speculate because at the end of the day, this is a court proceeding. So whatever issues, legal issues we want to raise before the court, eventually it's the court which will decide it. So that's why we should not speculate.
Mm. Okay. So, maliwanag na bar po ba ito or a very strong reminder? How do you characterize this?
Ako personally, Christian, being a free speech lawyer, I see this as a strong reminder both to the counsels as well as to the media, including social media. Kasi sabi mo nga, facts first. The facts first will show na marami pong fake news. And in fact, I will add disinformation po against the victims of the war on drugs, against the court itself, the ICC, and its institutions such as the Office of the Prosecutor, the chambers. Oo, ang daming fake news at disinformation. Kaya this is a sobering reminder to the Filipino public at mga social media influencers at pati na rin sa traditional media to be very careful, to be fair and to be accurate when reporting about the ICC.
Of course, the devil is in the details. No? Himayin po natin yung paalala ng presiding judge. How realistic is that strong reminder, even rebuke against fake news or outright disinformation in the context, let's say, of this upcoming trial?
Oh, actually, I'll be very frank, Christian, ang challenge talaga yung social media. Kasi alam naman po natin sa traditional media, mayroong journalistic ethics, mayroong internal ombudsperson na pwede mong filean, di ba? Alam mo yan, Christian. Ikatatlo, meron din pong mga mga internal mechanisms, organizations na pwede po silang mag-check kaya ng KBP for example. Pero yan, challenging po yan sa mga social media influencers at social media in general. Kasi kung hindi naman siya yung big social media orgs, kung talagang platform lang ng isang tao, sino mag-regulate yan? So yun yung challenge dyan.
Kasi inisip ko po rito, yung judge meron siyang strong reminder. Pero kunwari, ang nagpakalat ng isang disinformation ay isang abogado from either side. Madali siyang habulin, hindi po ba?
Yes, madali yan kasi meron namang disciplinary mechanisms at nasa code po namin yan, Christian, sa Code of Ethical Conduct for listed counsels. So
okay, doon muna tayo sa sa listed counsels. Tsaka siguro kunwari defense tsaka sa prosecution. Kunwari naglabas sila ng pahayag sa media tapos disinformation yung lumabas sa bibig nila or outright propaganda. Pwede silang habulin ng chamber, tama po ba?
Okay, in that hypothetical,
Yes, hypothetical.
Pwede, oo. Tapos, sa OTP kasi, there are internal organ po sila, So, actually, it's Code of Ethics talaga namin, it's really for the defense counsel as well as the legal representative of the victims. Yung OTP naman, may separate code naman sila, oo. So, yun yung mga mechanisms in place.
Okay, so kunwari, merong nagpakalat ng disinformation. Let's say one of the lawyers. Anong pwedeng gawin ng ICC judge or chamber?
Well, meron yung disciplinary committee. Oo, meron kasi yan sa, if I'm not mistaken, under the ICCBA, International Criminal Court Bar Association. Merong disciplinary committee at
Mm.
iimbestigahan niya ng disciplinary committee at magbibigay po sila ng recommendations po nila. So, nandun din po sa code of conduct po for councils.
Pwede ba silang i-contempt ng chamber?
Pwedeng i-contempt, Pwede din ngang, alam mo, pinaka-highest na, Christian, pinapataw, hindi na makaka-practice po yung abogado pong yun before the ICC. Yun po pinakamataas na pa. And I will add also, Christian, it also includes yung duty of confidentiality po namin. Kaya minsan tinatanong ako, ganito. At sasabihin ko na lang, I can neither confirm nor deny that. I cannot confirm that. I cannot deny that because it might violate my code of confidentiality, duty of confidentiality, Kaya yun yung pinakamataas na mapataw sa amin, Hindi na po kami makaka-practice sa
Dun sa
ICC.
ICC. Okay. Ito po, given this regulations or mechanisms and reminder by the chamber, what can the accredited lawyers, in defense counsel for instance, saka yung office of the prosecutor, what can they talk about outside of the court regarding the
Okay.
trial case?
Sige, Christian, idagdag na rin namin kami, as common legal representative of the
Apa.
victims, What we can really discuss is number one, we can actually, specify yung procedure, for that legal issue, For example, interim release or jurisdictional challenge or admissibility challenge. Pwede naming ma-cite, yung relevant provision ng Rome Statute or ng Rules of Procedure and Evidence. Ikalawa, pwede rin namin ma-clarify yung facts. Yeah, facts first. Or pwede namin ma-clarify kung ano yung law or procedural rule. Third, pwede naming ma-echo sa media kung ano po yung naging filing po namin. Naalala mo, Christian, there was a request for disqualification against me
Yes.
and Attorney Joel by the
Yes.
defense, So, daming gustong mag-interview sa akin, pero wala po talaga akong pinaunlakan ng interview kasi hindi pa po kami naka-file ng aming observations on that disqualification request. Nang naka-file na po kami ng aming grounds na for the denial ng pong yun, request for disqualification, doon pwede namin i-echo kung anong naging grounds po namin to say na dapat it should be rejected.